Morgan, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of D&D Recap. Now, I'd like to preface this one with the fact that my camera was not having a good day the day I recorded this, and so some of it's going to be really, really blurry, but I will fix that by providing amazingly awesome audio commentary. And again, this is the show where I draw really, really bad pictures, and I have a new board. Doesn't it look pretty? It's so pretty. I draw really, really bad pictures of what the people on my Wednesday night D&D Encounters table do. So, because D&D Encounters is a very casual game, the party changes every so often, so I will introduce you to the party for today. First things first, in a super, super blurry thing, we got Shifty Eyes. Shifty Eyes, obviously, that's R2, our lovely rogue, and then his brother, Heine, with his bow, and then obviously we got to have a cleric that you can barely see. This is really, really bad. I promise the next one's better. I promise. And we gotta have Nutson. So we had Achilles heels, and then Nutson, and then obviously we need to have this one right here. Have to change the marker because everybody knows. Blue hair for Bibi. Blue hair for Bibi. Yeah, this is really, really bad. I promise. It's a problem with the camera. Obviously, our next party member, Morgan, we haven't seen in a little bit. And then finally, our final party member. We had a big party this night. And it's Flame. Flame the Sorcerer. Morgan the Wizard. Flame the Sorcerer. So yeah, it's just, I will deal with the camera later. Get me up to, alright, so first things first. They were in that cavern after they'd taken out the evil, half-ogre. And they found a rusty door. There was a rusty door in there. And so they went up to said rusty door. And they're like, maybe we should open it. But as soon as they touched it, ooh, a Pac-Man ghost showed up. Because that's the best ghost I can draw. And ghosts are blue. That actually says B-L-U-E. I just write really poorly. So a ghost shows up. And the ghost is mad. He's like, "Get away! This is my buddy's tomb. You're not gonna." It's actually his master's, but buddy sounded funnier. So he's sitting there and he's like, we don't." And as soon as Flame sees this, specter materialize, he's like, maybe this is a bad idea. I literally just died due to heavy axing from a very large half-ogre, whatever it was, half-something. It was evil. It was green in the last one. And so while everyone else is like, what should we do with this specter? It hasn't attacked us yet. Flame is like, I move over here fast, like super fast. So all you could really see is a flame-shaped blur. Which the inability for my camera to focus actually helps in this regard. Because it was just a giant blur. Again, I have no idea why it's doing this, but... So, Morgan is sitting there, and he's like, well, the ghost isn't attacking us, and it's talking to us. Maybe, maybe we can be friends. There's my Pac-Man ghost. I was really proud with how much of a Pac-Man ghost I was able to make. So Morgan sits there and he's like, hey, let's be friends. We're not trying to rob the tomb or anything like that. Lie. Mr. Ghost, we should be friends. And the ghost, because he's a very nice, kind ghost, instantly, with my bad drawing, goes, nope. Go away. I don't like you. I don't like you. Go away or I'm going to attack you. And so Morgan is sitting there like, Morgan is working really, really hard to get this to work. And so from the other side, behind him, we've got Nutson, who's like, I'm gonna, this guy's gonna attack us. So I'm going to be sneaky, and I'm going to hit him first. And so he's like, I'm going to do an attack. I'm like, well, if you want to get a surprise round, you have to surprise him. So roll me a stealth check. And he did, and he failed miserably. Just horrible, horrible. It's probably because it was so blurry is why he failed. But yeah, he just completely failed his stealth check. So they got into the fight, and the Spectre Ghost thing went and called some friends, but it was not enough. And that's the ghost lying on the ground. I don't know why the ghost would lie on the ground. I don't think that's a very realistic thing for it to do. But the ghost is dead. And so they went in, and they found this sarcophagus. And they're like, I wonder what's in there. So they went in, they're like, oh, well, of course, we've got to open it. And they had sensed that there was a magical sword in there. And they're like, oh, this is awesome. I want a magic sword. And then they found out it was a magic killer sword. And the sword tried to fly up and kill them, which made them kind of sad. So now they're like, oh, look, it's a magic killing sword. And then we're like, blah, blah, blah. And they fight it, and then they broke the sword, and it was dead. And, yeah, so they were able to get that. They got some cool stuff. You know, they got a locket and some other stuff. They went back to town with my really, really bad handwriting and inability for the camera to focus. And, when they were in town, this giant sinkhole just kind of appeared after they'd been there. You know, they got a rest in that, and then this sinkhole appeared. They're like, oh, no! And, these kids fell into the sinkhole. And they were very, very sad. They were very, very sad. So, what ends up happening? Morgan, the wizard, let me remind you guys, he's a wizard. He's not like a fighter or you know, a rogue or anything. He's just like, I'll do it. Here I come to save the day. Hooray! And he dives into the sinkhole. And I forgot to drop, but Flame actually helped him out too. But he dives in and he helps out all these little kids. And yeah, he's kind of a hero. The wizard just kind of dives in. The rest of the party is literally just sitting on the sideline going, we'll just watch. You go ahead and take care of that. We're just gonna watch. And they probably were watching because it's far too blurry for them to see anything. So they didn't want to dive into something that blurry. Well, that's all for this week. Be sure to tune in next time to find out exactly what happens with this sinkhole. All right? Bye-bye!